Hey everyone, this is another video in my short series on automating Foundry 4th edition and how I set it up. This one is going into the active effects or dynamic active effects on certain abilities and how you can apply conditions and that sort of thing and effect to a token or target automatically using these features. So I'm going to show you a couple of them. First one I'm going to show you is Stunning Strike, which is a monk ability. So if we look at that, so the description is they make a constitution save or stuns to the end of your next turn. Here, the way that's set up is set up as a saving throw as normal, and you'll notice there's no damage and nothing else here. The rest of it is done through DAE. Now, what's slightly annoying with things like this, if you're setting up for the first time, you can't do it through just editing an item on here. You have to drag it into your item list directory and then edit from there and then drag it back onto the character. So I've already done that, and I can see here I've got my effects already set up. So it shows that stunned, and it shows that it will expire at the end of the character's next turn. So if we look at this, so this is a special duration, so specifying when stun should end, and then stunned here, it's not pulled it through, so we'll see if this works. I don't think my stunned is set up properly. Let's have a look. So if I target this dummy, what we'll do is we'll go Stunning Strike. Ignore that for now. And oh, it succeeds. Oof. Right. I guess we keep going until it fails. It's not going well. There we go. So you can see here the automation we previously got set up. It shows that the dummy makes a save, fails, and then has stunned automatically applied. So if we go to effects, you can see stunned. See if it actually tells you what this does. It doesn't, because I don't know if stunned is set up properly on here. Let's see if I have anything there. I do. Let's try redoing this then. Let's say if we go into here, go monk, Stunning Strike, DAE. I have to delete this effect and do it from the beginning. So we go down to stunned, click a little plus, adds it. Don't want it to stack. So I don't want it to. So this is usually ticked automatically. So what this means is when this feature is added to a character sheet, it'll automatically apply the DAE effect. In this case, it would apply stunned to SANM, which obviously don't want to happen. This one we're going special duration. One action. It's end of turn. Ends at the character's next turn. I believe that's the right one. There we go. And this time we got the effects there. So these should all be 0 actually. Okay, so we save that. Did that actually save? Saved. Okay. Let's close. Delete this version. Going to feature Stunning Strike. Go that. And add this one on. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? So first of all, let's remove stunned from him. And then let's just, I guess, keep rolling. There we go. I can see this time it's now worked properly. So failed, it's applied stunned and incapacitated, which is part of the stunned feature. as we go to here, the effects are advantage attacks on them, fail strength saves, dexterity saves, and its movement speed's gone to 0. So you can see here, speed is shown as 0. Let's roll a strength save. Normal. And you see this is how they do it. To make sure you automatically fail, it gives you a minus 100. So that's guaranteed to show as a failed save. Now, we'll want to test if it gets removed properly when in combat. So if we highlight those, add them to the combat, put this out, roll for it, and let's go begin. So we go back to Sanem, we target him, and then we just do it so it's stunned. Her turn ends. It shows you his turn ends, and there we go. Look, the end of the dummy's turn, it automatically removes those features. Now, what it would do if I leave these back, put these back on. It's not let me do that, is it? So let's roll again. Okay, so if she now makes an attack against him, we should see, let's get a short sword. You can see here that in this dialogue, it's showing that the flag for advantage has been marked, which just shows that part of the stunned feature is all attacks against you have advantage, so that gets flagged. Now, if you are using the fast forward feature, this dialog box wouldn't pop up, and it would just make an advantage roll. You do that as normal. Now skip her turn. It shows you this is what it's got. It's his turn, and it will fall off. And there's that. That's that feature. Oop. What I'm going to show you now is a spell. I have one. This is a defensive spell. This is Shield. So Shield obviously is when you're hit by an attack as a reaction, you can gain a +5 to your AC. Again, you can see here there is basically nothing set up here except from reaction and self. And the DAE effect is set to expire at the start of your turn. So start of this character's turn, Shield should expire, and then this has attributes.ac bonus, add +5. Okay, so let's test this out. So first things first, let's end that combat. And then let's put these two in combat, shall we? Okay, so let's get the dummy to attack him, and we'll show you the trigger for this. So, short sword. Let's give him advantage. Of course he misses. Not be my day for rolls like this, is it? There we go. So you can see now it's hit. It shows the pop-up, which we've seen before. Show that the total roll is 18. Do you want to use your reaction Shield? So yes. Cast a spell. And you can see now he has this little mark on him to say that there is an effect in place. If we look at his AC, his AC is now 20 with +5 bonus for Shield. And due to that, the attack missed him. Now if we go to him, that's actually I should have done that differently. I'm really good at this, I swear. I'm so good at doing these things. So we go Shield. Okay, so that applies. So if we go to his turn, there you go. Look, start of Janbei's turn, the Shield automatically expires, which pulls it off him, so he doesn't have that effect there. It can also the active effects can also be used to buy different things. So, for example, if you look at Ray of Frost, this has an effect because when you're hit by Ray of Frost, for the next turn, your movement speed is reduced by 10. So you can see here, your walking speed minus 10. I think duration's set, but so this would drop your movement speed. Another one is enlarge, reduce. So see, this one requires a bit more complexity. It's a macro. So with dynamic active effects, you can also call on a macro to be run, and it will put a marker on the token to show there is a effect on them. So in this one, look, we can see this is not something I've made. This is pulled from the DAE SRD, which I believe is made by, I think it's Kadashi. I can't pronounce the username, but it has a bunch of spell effects already built up. So this calls on item macro. So that is showing here. They have a macro here, look. Now if I show you how this looks, so I believe we target Jambe and then cast enlarge. And what we'll see here now, you get post in the chat and it gives you a dialog box. Enlarge or reduce. If we enlarge him, you see that suddenly he is now a lot bigger. Now two things happen here. So if we go to his character sheet again, the effects he's got, so you can see he's got concentrating and enlarge, reduce. So concentrating happens if you're using a concentration spell. The system does MIDI QOL, I believe it will be, picks up concentration and will automatically put this marker on you to show that you are concentrating on that feature. And the icon enlarge, reduce shows you what's affected. So if this was cast on someone else, Jambe would have concentrating, the other person would have the enlarge, reduce effect on them. Now these can be removed in either way. So you can see here, we've got a duration of 60 seconds or 10 rounds. So if we skip through combat, this would reduce. I don't think it actually shows there. So yeah. But yeah, if we flick through that, what will happen is that once you've hit the 10th round, the spell would end. Alternatively, concentration, if that breaks, which I believe MIDI QL handles now, or can handle if you have it set up. When you take damage, it will automatically roll a check for you. If you fail, the concentration effect is removed, which therefore removes the feature. So for example, for this one, if we remove concentration, it will also remove this feature. So if we delete that, see, that's gone. And he's gone back to his usual size. It's all chained together. You can do things like whole person. So whole person is used to apply. Someone's actually got something there. So this applies paralyzed. And I believe this is set up to make the save rolled at the end of each turn. Yeah. So this one is this is a macro built into it. Again, this is done by someone else. It's not something I've made. I'm not good with macros, but this means that the whole make a wisdom save at the end of your turn, on a success it ends, this macro built in will automatically roll that macro through, and at the end of the turn it will check to see or prompt them for a roll. Well, let's see if we can actually get that to work, shall we? Show you how it looks in person. So if we target him, cast, see that he's now failed, so he's paralyzed. Now if we skip to the dummy's turn, see at the end of the dummy's turn it's rolled a save. Didn't prompt him, but it's rolled. DC is 12 and he's failed. So if we keep skipping through to passes, there we go. That so it's passed, and now this comes into effect, which is part of the macro, and then the effects are removed. So as you can see, the active effects can be really useful on items, and they can have different uses. Mirror image, for example, there is a module, token magic I believe it is, where you can give tokens different effects, one of which is mirror, and what that does, it shows you a number of different like icons moving around, so you can use this to also flash up and like make your game look interesting, but also make it easy for people to understand what's going on. So for this one, for example, mirror image, you could place it on a token. The moment that effect is placed on there, they start like splitting into multiples, and you'll see here's these different ones showing you this one has mirror image on them. You can get into more complex ones, but that's basically how it works. Like I said, you can't edit them from here, it has to be from the item tab, but there's lots of different things that to amend and add. So I've also done ones for things like this. So if I could look at dodge, for example. So I've set dodge. I've got dodge set as a condition, and it grants disadvantage and advantage on dex saves as per dodge rules, and it expires at the start of the next turn. So for example, in this instance, if Jambé used dodge, at the beginning of his next turn, that effect would drop off him, and see from there. In the meantime, it will apply the additional bonus. I don't speak good, but let me show you. It's pretty easier. So we go. Jambé is going to dodge. See now that he's showing that he's got the dodge icon on him. Now if we attack him with this dummy, you can see here automatically it's flagged to show us disadvantage. So with disadvantage, finally still hits. Like the shield, so we can change these all into one. You can see how they all work. So you can see at the moment he has a still got hit. Look, he has this effect that two of them expire, and concentration will expire if he takes damage. See if this actually works. So roll damage for him. Yeah, so you can see with MIDI QOL, it automatically triggers a saving throw. It figures out how much the DC should be, as per the rules, which is DC 10 or half the damage taken. If you fail, then the concentration marker will fall off. Go to dummy's turn. Look at that. The end of his turn, these all ended. I think that's what quite how it should be. I think it's applied in the dummy's turn. But I have to look at how the shield applies. It should apply on the caster's turn. At the start of his turn, that should have ended. But either way, you can see that dodge has been removed, shield's been removed, and he's gone back to normal. So that's active effects. You've seen them combined, how they all work in tandem, and how different features work, and there is no limit to the number of them you can add to someone. So you could add a whole bunch of these on there to give them different effects, and they will have a marker on, and you can pull them through. If we look at dodging as an example, dodge has been pulled through. So if you go, you can see here when you first load one up, you'll have this dialog box. If you press the plus, it gives you a blank one. You can start from scratch. But if you're doing something like using combat utility belt, anything you've got set as a condition can be added and then amended. So if I wanted this to say also part of dodge, you become invisible, I can click on that go to the plus, and it automatically populates invisible effects for me. I can detect duration, any additional effects, details, and so forth. To get rid of it, you just delete that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's quite a straightforward one. I think it's quite quick, but quite fun. It's a good indication and method of automation. If you want to get those features automated, it takes work, especially with macros. If you're going to be using macros, I would highly suggest you check out the Foundry Discord. There are some amazing people in there that have macros set up that just are amazing and do so much stuff, things which I can't do. I have no capacity or capability of doing that. So, but yeah, definitely worth doing. And that's it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I think there might be one or two more in this little quick series, just to test to see how I can do YouTube. And thanks for watching. Thanks a lot. Bye.